Hey everyone, thank you for watching. Today's video is going to be a chatty get ready with me. So Rare Beauty just sent me a new PR package. In here we have some new brow products, some shadow sticks, some eyeliners. So I thought it would be fun to sit down and try out some of these new products. And then I also just wanted to have a little chit chat while I get ready, and I'm going to be talking about kind of flashing back to old school beauty YouTube, which beauty influencers first influenced me to try which brands. I touched on this in my Ride or Die makeup video, and I was just talking about products from 2016 and how there was some brands I'd never heard of until certain influencers were talking about them. So I thought that's what we could chat about today. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, welcome. So before I jump in, I do start with an outfit of the day. Usually my get ready with me videos, I'm very casual, so I am just wearing some workout shorts from Express, and this top, I feel like this top is from like Victoria's Secret from like 1,000 years ago, quite honestly. But again, my get ready with me videos, I'm usually pretty relaxed and chill, so I am just going to clip my hair back. And then to start off with my primer, I'm just going to use the one from Natasha Denona. This is the Hygiene Skin Glass. It's not my favorite. I did a video recently on the best and worst of Natasha Denona, and for this one I said, you know, it's not necessarily a favorite product of mine, and it was quite expensive for what it is, but you know, it gets the job done. All right, I also have you zoomed in here. So I'm just gonna do a little bit of concealer and powder. This is what I've been doing. I haven't been doing a whole lot of foundation because I just love the Natasha Denona High Glam Concealer so much. I use the shade N4 and I just think that it's phenomenal. I can use on my under eyes, all over my face. It's just beautiful. And then I use the Lawless powder. And again, like, just phenomenal. I did a video recently on a beauty battle, and I had both of these products mentioned in there, and these were the winners in their categories. And I also did a video recently on all the makeup that I've hit pan in, and this one from Lawless Beauty just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I'm gonna need a new one of these soon. But like I said, I did my Ride or Die makeup tag video recently. So this was a tag video that I did back in 2016. And it is where you talked about your Ride or Die makeup products, your absolute favorites. And I thought it would be fun to kind of look back on that video and see, is there any products from 2016 that I am still loving, what has been, you know, knocked off, what has been dethroned, what has maybe been updated. You know, there was a foundation that I mentioned that has been reformulated and I still love it right now. I thought that would be a fun video to do, and it was in that one that I mentioned some of these brands that I was talking about in that video that I had never heard of until I started watching beauty YouTube. So I started watching beauty YouTube in 2012. It would have been 2013, somewhere around that time frame. I was actually doing makeup trials for my wedding, and the makeup artist, when she asked me what look I was looking for, I didn't really know what to say, and she suggested coming on to YouTube and watching beauty videos, and that would give me an idea of looks that I wanted, styles that I wanted, or even makeup products that I wanted. And I remember thinking, like, what are you talking about? Beauty YouTube? And what's so funny to me is at this point, I was already well underway as a blogger. I started blogging in 2009. You know, shortly after that, I had a Facebook page. You know, I had Twitter right when it was starting. I was like slowly dipping my toes into Instagram. I actually started Instagram as a fitness page. I ran a yoga fitness account with one of my friends, but I was really not interested in YouTube. And when I would get comments or when I would have other people in the space tell me that I should make videos, I really didn't want to do it. I am quite shy, I'm very introverted, and the thought of like having to go on camera was very overwhelming to me. And I was like, all I want to do is write. I'm also a writer. I'm a self-published author of 9 novels, working on my 10th one right now. I was always very reluctant to start a YouTube channel. I actually did at one point, it would have been in 2012, right after I got engaged. I started a YouTube channel, and my thought behind it was I could kind of share, you know, what we know now as vlogs, but kind of share updates on my wedding with my followers of my blog, but also with my family who lived away from me. I lived in Iowa. I don't even know where they were living at the time, their army. So wherever they were, I was like, oh, I could do like fun videos this way and people could keep up with them. I did a few on that channel. Again, didn't really love it, didn't feel comfortable, didn't like editing, and I was like, nah, this is going nowhere. Stopped that channel, deleted it. I'm gonna use some Rare Beauty products. This video is not sponsored by Rare Beauty. Again, they sent me this PR package, and then I have quite a few Rare Beauty products in my collection, so I just thought it'd be fun to use them. So I'm gonna use the bronzer stick and also one of the liquid blushes. The bronzer stick I have in the shade Power Boost, and I'm gonna use Encourage in the liquid blush. But in 2013, when I was redirected to YouTube and I started watching all of these beauty videos, to me, I noticed how much fun everyone was having. And I was like, wait, I want to have fun too. I was, you know, fully immersed in the social media space. I worked for a book publishing company. I ran my own marketing company. I actually ended up going on to open my own publishing company as well. So I was publishing for other authors. So I was very much invested in the social media space. And when I started my blog, the name of it, and it's still around, is Chicklet Plus. And the reason why I named it that was because I wanted it to be a book blog, but I didn't want it to just be a book blog. You know, I was following other book blogs at this time, and they all had like the cute names that usually had chicklet in it. Chicklet is a book genre. It usually follows like a female character. Usually she's either having problems with her relationship, her job, her friendships. Maybe she lives in a fun city. It's usually shopping involved. The covers are usually like pink and sparkling, have cupcakes and shoes on them, things like that. So when I would go to the library and find books so I could review on my blog, those were typically like the covers that I was looking for. So again, while I knew that I wanted to be, you know, write my book reviews and all of that, I didn't want to just be a book blog. Something about me is I have never wanted to be put into one box. And if you've been following my channel for a while, you probably get that. I do a lot of different content over here. I do a lot of different content on my Instagram. I've never really thought of myself as just a beauty influencer or just a book influencer or just an author, or I've never wanted to just be one thing. I love being multi-niche. Don't want to quit that. So even from the very beginning, I wanted to do more. So I actually did beauty reviews on my blog. I blogged about like running my first 5K, trying Jillian Michaels' 30-day shred. I wrote lifestyle articles. I wrote articles on celebrities. So I'll say once I saw, you know, the beauty YouTube space, I thought it was so interesting, and I started to become really quite obsessed with watching these videos and how much fun everyone seemed to be having, and they were just, you know, doing their makeup every day and giving me makeup tips. And I'm someone who's always been very interested in beauty, but I'm not a makeup artist. I've never thought of myself as particularly talented in makeup. So I started to learn all of these tips, and I was seeing them in person versus reading them in a magazine, which is what I had really done up until this point. You know, that's where I was getting the pointers of what the celebrities were wearing and how they were using them. So to see like a normal girl doing her makeup in her bedroom and telling me and explaining to me and showing me the best products, I mean, I was instantly hooked. And I had no idea at the time that there was a whole huge business behind beauty YouTube. I mean, truly, even back in 2013, it's nothing like what it is today, but there was already a business happening with social media influencers and the beauty space. What's funny to me is the very first beauty YouTuber that I started watching was Carly Bible. And every day I would come down to my office. I worked from home at the time, and I would come down into my office and I would watch Carly's latest video before I logged on to my job, and I worked at a hospital. And from Carly's videos, I would see on the side like other videos being recommended. And the second beauty YouTuber I started watching was someone named Jaclyn Hill. So then every day I would come down and I'd watch Carly's new video if she had one, then Jaclyn's new video. And then it started to go from there. And suddenly I was getting, you know, recommended all these other channels. And I'm not lying to you, for the longest time, I thought Carly Bible was the only beauty YouTuber. I thought that was it. And then when I saw Jaclyn's video, I thought, wow, these two girls are like really nailing it. And then I started to realize that there was so many other people making these videos that this is me. I love structure. I love lists. I made a list every day of the beauty YouTubers that I watched. So when I came down and before I would start work or when I was on my break, I would go through my list and I would do little check marks of like Monday, I made sure Carly didn't have a new upload. I watched Jacqueline's new upload. Kathleen had a new one. Jessica didn't have one. And I would go through my list, and that was how I kept up with everyone. I can even remember at one point, it was Carly Bible saying, make sure that you subscribe to my channel. And I was like, wait, what does that, what does that mean? Like, I didn't even know what that meant. I didn't know that I should subscribe to anybody. So it was her saying that in the video that I was like, oh, you're supposed to subscribe to these channels. And then everything goes from there, right? I had no idea, which is funny to look back on. I'm already in the social media space and I'm just like, what? You subscribe to YouTube channels? Had no idea. For the next couple of years, I would watch these videos and I would just be so impressed with, again, the creators, how much fun they were having. I had no idea that it was anyone's job. Like, some of them were doing this full time already. I had no idea. I thought we were all just like working jobs and doing our side hustle on the side, right? And in 2015, I finally had this thought of like, I like watching these videos so much and I think it's such a cool thing. Why don't I do it too? Like, why don't I do it too? And I'll say there was a video of Jaclyn Hill's where I think she was doing like a Q&A or maybe like a Chatty get ready with me or something like that. But I feel like she was answering a question of what should you do if you want to start a YouTube channel as well? Like if someone at home watching wants to start a YouTube channel. And she was like, you just need to start it. Like, you just need to go for it. And I was like, yeah, I mean, easy enough. Why don't I just go for it? Like, as someone who, I do have a business background. That's what my degree is in. I've always wanted to be a business owner. I have been an entrepreneur from a very young age, starting up new businesses and things like that. And so something about hearing that, even though it's like so obvious, you know, you want to do something, just do it. Something about hearing that from someone who I felt like was my friend. I was watching her get ready, you know, every single day in her bedroom. I was starting to like see her boyfriend and then her husband on camera and all these different things. So something about feeling like a friend was telling me like, just go for it. You should just do it. I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it. So in 2015, I started my own YouTube channel. I filmed videos off of my phone at a bar stool, and I would stack a whole bunch of books on top. And then my ex-husband had made me like a wooden stand phone holder type situation. And I would set my phone sideways on that holder. I would move my where I filmed in the red room, I would move the French door. So my first home had a really beautiful office with French doors, and I would move it so I could catch my reflection in one of the mirror panels so I could see myself in the camera so I could make sure I was in focus. And I filmed videos, and that's what we did. And I first started as more of a book channel. I still have all of those first videos up. I talked about being a book blogger. I did book hauls. I did book reviews. I talked about my own books. I talked about the books that I was publishing for my own authors under Marching Inc., all of those things. And then again, because I never wanted to be just one niche, I was like, well, maybe I should bring some of my other, you know, blog posts into these videos as well. And so I would do a few beauty videos, like beauty hauls, like my favorite products, things like that. Again, because I'm watching so many beauty videos, I was still primarily reading book blogs. I wasn't watching BookTube yet. I was watching beauty YouTube, but I would go to the blogs every day to learn about books. So I thought, if I'm watching so many videos on beauty and it's something that really interests me and I'm still writing articles, well, what if I just take those articles and I start making videos on them? And then those beauty videos started to get way more views than my book videos were. So in my mind, I was like, people like this, maybe I should keep going with it. So in 2016, I rebranded as a beauty channel, and that is how we came to be. But when I was watching, starting from like the 2012, 2013 era, I had a very small makeup collection. I mean, I was just going to like CVS, Walmart, sometimes Ulta Beauty. That was like a little bit out there for me. Really like didn't go into Sephora. I used a lot of brands that my mom had used and a lot of the makeup that I would use of my mom's, like in high school and things like that, like a lot of CoverGirl, Maybelline, Revlon. Again, really primarily drugstore products. I didn't really own a lot of high-end at this time either. But as I watched more and more of these videos, I started to slowly make a list of makeup products that I wanted to try for myself. And again, going back to Carly Bible being the first beauty YouTuber that I started watching, she actually introduced me to a few different brands, but two that I wrote down to talk about in this video was MAC Cosmetics and Sigma Beauty. So I'm gonna move over to my brows and use the new brow pencil from Rare Beauty. So this is the new Brow Harmony Precise Pencil. Okay, so they only sent me one shade, so hopefully it works out. This shade is Rich Taupe. All right, so you do have a spoolie on one side, and then the other side is this kind of precise little diamond shape pencil here. So MAC Cosmetics, I had never been to a MAC store until I went searching for MAC Fix Plus and the MAC Vanilla Pigment. Those were two things that Carly used over and over and over again. I would see other people using the Fix Plus as well, but Carly did so many looks using this MAC Vanilla Pigment that I was like, I need to find a MAC store. I Googled, where is MAC? Do I have a MAC store in my state, in my city? And I did. It was located in a mall, and sure enough, I went to the mall and I purchased the Fix Plus and the Vanilla Pigment. Those were thanks to Carly Bible. And it's funny because as I started to get more and more into beauty YouTube, I would see that so many people loved MAC, and I was like, how has this been a brand that I've never heard of? But again, as someone who primarily went to the drugstore, MAC was not being sold in the drugstore, so I didn't know about it, and I would never have gone into like a standalone MAC store by myself looking for something, and their prices were higher. I can remember buying the Fix Plus and the Vanilla Pigment and being like, ooh, okay. But I did it because I was very much influenced by Carly Bible. I still continue to love the Fix Plus. It's still something I have in my drawer right now. I continually repurchase it, so that's great. All right, so I'm just gonna start to sketch along my brows. Oh, actually, I think this shade is gonna look really nice. Wow, isn't that exciting? And then also Sigma Beauty, I think I might have said this in my last video. I said it somewhere recently, so I'll try to say it really quickly. But there was a video I was watching of Carly Bible's, and she said that she was going to Minnesota for the weekend, and she was having a meet and greet at the like Mall of America with Sigma Beauty, who Sigma Beauty is headquartered in Minneapolis. And I remember thinking, like, this was no shade towards Carly, like no hate, it was just me not understanding. I'm also thinking at the time that like I'm probably the only person who watches people doing their makeup on YouTube, because I was like, what a bizarre thing, right? So in 2012, 2013, Carly's saying she's having a meetup at a ball, and I was like, who is going to meet this girl? Like, that's so weird. And like, she's doing it with a beauty brand? Like, I just didn't get it. I didn't know what was going on, right? So I'm thinking like, this is such a bizarre thing, how strange, like, okay. But I also had that thought, because I lived in Iowa at the time, I was like, could I go to Mall of America and meet Carly Bible? And then I was like, no girl, you can't afford that. What are you trying to do here? Like, you can't make that 8-hour car ride. Like, who's gonna go with you? You're now being a weirdo, okay? So, but I really had that thought of like, I wanna go and meet her as well, while at the same time still having the thought of like, who's gonna go meet her, right? Very conflicting. So then she gets back, and one of her next videos is a vlog, and it's of her meetup, and there's so many people there, you know, hundreds if not like thousands of people there to meet Carly, and everyone is like so excited, and she's signing autographs and taking pictures, and I was like, what's going on here? What is really, like, what is the deal with this industry? What is the deal with these beauty influencers? What is the deal with these makeup brands? Like, something bigger is going on that I am unaware of, and I need to figure it out. And I made it my mission to figure it out, okay? Till, like, I would see her using the Sigma brushes, but it was really that first video where she was going to Minneapolis to do this meetup that I was like, I need to look into this Sigma Beauty a little bit more, right? So there was a video that Carly had done where she was going through all of her favorite Sigma brushes, and I wrote them down, again, a big list maker. I wrote down her favorite brushes, and then I would start to purchase them a little bit at a time. Again, I was buying like dollar store brushes, elf brushes, which at the time were $1. I could not afford a lot. So that was a really big deal to me when I made my first Sigma purchase, and I felt like I was truly again, as someone who like has always loved makeup, but I kind of always felt like I never could quite grasp it. And I just don't have the best mind visually. It's hard for me to see something and like understand how to replicate it. I'm really bad at art, failed 7th grade art, like I'm just like bad at all of that stuff. My creativity stems more from honestly like my imagination and then being able to write. That's where my creativity lies. So I really felt like I was trying to get more into this almost like design world, you know. That's kind of how I view makeup as well. So I'm thinking like, I'm so cool now, I got these Sigma brushes, like everything is so great. So Sigma Beauty was one that Carly Bible really introduced to me as well. Okay, just quick pause because this brow pencil is actually really beautiful. Rich Taupe is a beautiful shade, and that did not take me a lot of time to do, and I think my brows are looking pretty good. They almost have a little bit of a slightly waxier feel to them. Like when I run the spoolie through it, that's when I notice it. Sometimes I don't like a brow pencil that's like extremely waxy because I feel like it can kind of be a little bit hard to control. But this I really didn't notice as I was applying. It was really as I was brushing through my brows that I was like, oh, they have a little bit of hold to them as well. That was super smooth, very creamy to apply that brow pencil. I think my brows came out looking really nice. We're off to a good start with this Rare Beauty PR package. Okay, I'm impressed. But actually one more brand, I think I might have said 2 for Carly Bible, but there is one more brand that I wanted to mention for Carly, and that is BH Cosmetics. I had never heard of BH Cosmetics until Carly Bible, and she was using them so much, and then she did a collaboration with them. So she actually ended up doing a couple collabs with BH Cosmetics. I bought all of them. I bought them all. I think it was her last one that had the eyeshadows and then the face products as well. But I was so excited. Again, it felt like a friend of mine was getting this opportunity with a brand, and I was like, yes, oh my gosh, here we go. Like, so pumped about this. And I used to have so many of the big BH palettes. I had so many of the brush bundles, because BH Cosmetics had a much more affordable price point than something like Sigma Beauty. So for me, I was able to get a whole bunch of brushes for a smaller price. So I had a pretty stocked BH collection at one point, and it was thanks to Carly Bible. And then another brand that I wanted to mention was Anastasia Beverly Hills. Again, this was a brand I had not heard of. I did not know how well known Anastasia was, especially in the brow category, and I really felt like Nicole Guerrero introduced me to Anastasia, and Carly and Nicole were really close friends, and they would do videos together from time to time. So I actually found Nicole through Carly's videos, and she would mention ABH quite a bit, and then she went on to do collaborations as well. Carly did too. So Anastasia had these glow kits, and Nicole did a collaboration with the glow kits, and I was so excited. You know, immediately bought it. And again, I felt like Nicole Guerrero was the one who introduced me to Anastasia. So it's funny to look back and remember some of these older collaborations as well. Like, or even just remember like the glow kits in general. I was so obsessed with my glow kits. Who had a glow kit from Anastasia? I would love to know. But I think at one point I had like 4 of them. And this was back in like the highlighting craze days for sure, and it was like the more you could highlight the better. Okay, so I'm going to use 2 shadow sticks from Rare Beauty. So these are new products. I'm going to use Adventure, which is more of a copper, and then Contentment, which is like a rose taupe, it was described as. Now, I do not use shadow sticks very often. I really do prefer either an eyeshadow palette or singles like a Super Shock. But shadow sticks are really in their like time to shine right now, and that swatched so soft, so smooth, so creamy. Okay, so I thought I could do a little mix of the okay, so we're gonna try to do a little something. Again, I don't use these type of products a lot, but we're gonna give it a little bit of a go here. So for Adventure and this more coppery shade, I'm gonna start to apply it on the outer parts of my eye. I really am into like quick and easy makeup looks, so it just makes me want to use my finger and just kind of blend like so. Oh, look at that, even with just my finger, I feel like that's looking so smooth and very pretty, if I do say so myself. But moving on to talk about a few more brands. So I feel like I had like a long intro of my YouTube days, but I'm very nostalgic right now for like old school YouTube, like the makeup challenges or just talking about it, the old favorites, all of that. So I thought it'd be fun. You know, over the years, I've obviously like gained a few subscribers. So if anyone didn't know my initial journey and how I started on YouTube and how I can kind of poke fun of myself of like, I didn't even know that was a thing and I was already in social media. It's just kind of funny to share about that stuff. But I definitely had to touch on Jaclyn Hill because like I said, she was the second creator that I started watching on YouTube. And I would make so many lists from her videos. I mean, that's something that I think I still see about Jaclyn Hill is that she can really sell. So there's that. But she definitely introduced me to Makeup Geek. I had never heard of Makeup Geek before getting onto YouTube. And then at one point, I mean, I probably had like 25 of their single shadows. I would get so excited. Like when I saw Jaclyn make her favorite Makeup Geek eyeshadows, I was like a giddy little kid. Like I was like, let me get my notepad, let me get my pen, I'm gonna make a whole list of everything that she says. And then I would go through the website and I'd go through each one and I would like add them to my cart, and then I would like slowly take away because I was like, okay, now you're gonna be a lot of money. And then I was like, wait, she has a code, Jack Attack, oh my gosh, Jack Attack, 10% off. You know, I would like be so excited. And I can remember getting, it's so funny how certain makeup can like tie in with memories. But I can remember getting that first package in and it had, what was it? Cocoa Bear, Peach Smoothie, Creme Brulee, Shimma Shimma. Getting ready, it's, again, it's so funny how I can remember this. I was getting ready to go to an iCubs game, the Iowa Cubs, like the AAA affiliate of the Chicago Cubs. They played in Des Moines. We were getting ready to go to a game that night with friends, and my ex-husband was like, Samantha, we gotta go, we gotta go. I was like, hold on. Just wait a second. My Makeup Geek shadows came in, so I have to open them very carefully and I have to look at all of them and I have to swatch all of them and then I have to make an eye look and then I have to take a picture and I have to put it on Instagram. I'm very busy. Like, just hold on. And I can remember that. Like, I can remember like rushing to the game because we were gonna be late, meeting up with friends because I was so excited about my Makeup Geek order. True story. And also under Jaclyn Hill, I wrote down Becca Cosmetics. I mean, when Jaclyn did her collaboration with Becca, I felt like that was like so groundbreaking. And I'm not sure why, and I would love to hear any of your thoughts on it as well. I'm gonna take that Contentment and kind of put it more on the center, like inner center part of my eye. I'm not sure why I felt like that collab really was like breaking down doors, because again, I had seen other influencers before this collab with other brands, but for some reason that one was so huge. I mean, I don't know if they just had really good marketing and PR behind it, because it was getting mentioned in like mainstream media. And I felt like that was one of the first times I was really seeing beauty YouTube being mentioned in mainstream media. Like I honestly, like, I can't remember exactly what it was, but like people.com was like, Becca Cosmetics collaborating with beauty influencer Jaclyn Hill, and I was like, wait, I know her. You know, in my mind I'm like, wait, I know her, and like now she's on people.com, like this is crazy. But I felt like that was such a huge collaboration of what they did, and Champagne Pop was everywhere. I mean, everyone was clamoring to get it. When she came out with her like the Champagne Pop palette, which had all of the different shades, like I was so excited and I hung on to that palette for such a long time. Like I didn't want to let it go because it was, again, tied with so many good memories of everyone just being so excited, of all of these videos going up on this palette. And it was just, I don't know, it was just a different time. I mean, if you watched beauty YouTube back in those days, you probably understand, like, it was just a different time, a different vibe. We'll never have it again, but it was exciting to be a part of back then. And I knew that I wanted to get anything that Jaclyn was doing in collaboration with Becca, I was gonna have it. Okay, this eye look, that was super easy to do. I mean, I didn't even use a brush. I feel like those colors are beautiful. When I tap it, it feels dry. Like it doesn't feel like it's going to be like transferring all over or, you know, anything like that. But how easy, like how quick and easy was that? Again, for whatever reason, I have not been into shadow sticks, but I feel like the vibes right now, like I'm going to get my mind changed, and these from Rare Beauty were so smooth and so easy to use. Like, your girl is impressed right now. But speaking of, you know, influencer collaborations and all of that, I definitely wanted to touch on Casey Holmes. She was probably like, I don't know, third or fourth beauty YouTuber that I started watching, and I just was so, I was so down with her. I still am. I still watch her videos. I still keep up with her. And I just felt like she was so like down to earth and relatable. I remember when I was watching her and she was single and she was talking about like trying to find a man, how like she's married with kids. It's just really so fun and so chill to watch her videos. And she definitely introduced me to the brand Smashbox Cosmetics, and she did a collaboration with them. And let me tell you how excited I was to buy this collaboration. Again, I would love to hear in the comments like the different collabs that you have bought over the years, just because I think it's so interesting to look back. Maybe I should do a whole video on like past influencer collabs. I don't know, something along those lines. But I definitely was so excited to support her Smashbox collaboration. And because Smashbox is that more, you know, high-end brand, I had never heard of them, and she would use so many of their products. And again, she went on to eventually collaborate with them, and I had to buy it. I had to get her Spotlight palette, which again was a highlight palette. Man, highlights, brands really like got a lot going on with those highlight palettes back then, let me tell you. Okay, first thoughts on the eyeliner is I like it. It's not as pigmented on the waterline that I would prefer, like compared to like my Glossier. It just gives such a pow. I'm using more of the brown shade, and this one is in True Brown. True Brown is this one. So again, my favorite eyeliner right now is Glossier, and it's just like, this one is still smooth, but the Glossier just shows up quite a bit more. So I'm also using it to smudge beneath my waterline, and then just kind of also flicking out like a quick little liner moment out here. Nothing too much, but I think it'll be, in first thoughts is like, it'll be a fine eyeliner. I don't know if it's gonna end up being like a favorite of mine. I like that it's really smooth though, but I wanted to have a little bit more. But I will also try the True Black, because sometimes black just has a little bit more pow to it. I love that I'm a writer, and then I can't even like say real words. I'm like pow, you know? All good. So I'm gonna take that Adventure shade, yeah, Adventure, and just a like small liner brush, and I'm just gonna kind of smudge this on my lower lash line instead of dipping into an eyeshadow palette. But again, was very excited for the Smashbox Casey Holmes. Again, another palette that I had for such a long time, because I had so many good memories with it. She also did a collaboration with Physicians Formula, and when I tell you how thrilled I was that she sent it to me in PR, y'all, I nearly fell over in shock when I got that. And it was a whole box. It kind of reminded me of like the Benefit boxes, and it had like shadows and face products, and I think, was there a perfume? I feel like there was a perfume in that one. I was so excited. There's a photo. I wonder if I could find this photo. But I went outside on a snowy winter day in Iowa in my sweatpants and my coat and my hat, and I'm out in the yard taking pictures of this palette because I'm so pumped about it. My ex-husband took a photo of me from the house and was probably like, yeah, this isn't gonna work out. This woman is crazy. Because I was just outside in the snow, so excited, and I wanted to get that really aesthetic, like white background photo, and I was like, well, it's white outside. Well, thanks, snow. So I went out and took the photos, but I was just really thrilled to be sent something from a YouTuber that I looked up to so much and was like so excited for her, and it was just a really special, it was a special time. So was really thrilled about that. But definitely Casey Holmes introduced me to Smashbox Cosmetics. Okay, I think this eye look is so cute. It's very me. Someone asked me the other day in my comment section if I'm going for more minimalist makeup looks, and I was like, yes, absolutely, 100%. I'm reading a book and she keeps saying Hundy P for 100%. And I'm like, great, now I'm gonna start saying that. So very excited because in the package was a Rare Beauty mascara. This is one of my favorites, and I actually have just recently put all like 4 of mine into my empties bin. I was like, stop doing this, Rhea. They're done for. So I'd had it on my list to buy another Rare Beauty mascara, but I guess I'm so excited. I love this mascara. So that is what I'm going to use for my lashes. Let me look at my list though. Okay, we did Casey. Oh, Kathleen Lights. Kathleen Lights. I have a couple brands listed for her. One of them most definitely being ColourPop Cosmetics. Never heard of ColourPop until watching beauty YouTube, and they were, I mean, I can remember when the brand was first coming out, and they really from the beginning kind of positioned themselves as a social media brand, as a brand that did work with a lot of influencers and, you know, sending out PR, reposting content creators on their Instagram and all of that. And when Kathleen would do her videos talking about her favorite Super Shock shadows, I would go and buy them. Talking about the favorite lip products, I would go and buy them. And then Kathleen did her collaboration with ColourPop, and I was like, take my wallet. Take it all. I don't even want this wallet. And again, another memory that I have is I was going to the movies with my friends, and my package came with Kathleen's lip products. It came as, like, I was going to the movies and I got the message that my package had been delivered, and I literally had this thought of, should I not go to the movies? Should I stay home? I was on YouTube at this point. I was like, should I stay home and film this video and edit it and get it up? And I was like, no, you're being crazy. Just go to the movies with your friends and then come back and do it. But I remember we saw the movie Bad Moms, I'm pretty sure it was. And my friends were going out afterwards, and I was like, I can't. I have to go home. I have to film. I mean, in early YouTube days, I didn't have much of a social life because I was trying so hard to get this channel off the ground. It was the same when I was a blogger. And you know, I started my blog when I was 21 years old. I would forego so many social events and birthdays and parties and, you know, just get-togethers in general because I was working 3 jobs, but then I was also doing this blog as my side hustle. But I just thought, I'm really onto something here, and I really love this. I really love what I do, and I want to keep doing it. So I didn't have much of a social life. And then same when it came to YouTube, I was so determined to have a consistent upload schedule. I was so determined at a certain point to be talking about the new makeup and showing the new products. And I also, you know, I was so excited for Kathleen, and I really wanted her products because, again, she felt like my friend. But I also, the business side of me was like, I think this video could do well. And that video did so well on my channel. You know, at the time it was getting thousands and thousands of views. I was getting so many new subscribers from it, and I was like, whoa, this is crazy. Like, I just remember that being one of my first videos that really kind of took off for me, and I was so excited. And I just remember thinking, you know, I could have been out with my friends having a fun time, but this really impacted my work. This is just really helping me grow my channel, and I felt very much like, okay, I did make the right decision then. And I was really proud of that video and proud of, you know, I'm quite honestly, I'm very proud of my work ethic, and I always have been. I'm very much career driven. I mean, sometimes to the point where I don't have a life outside of my work, but like, it's fine. All right, there is the Rare Beauty mascara, beautiful. So definitely ColourPop under Kathleen Lights, but also Ofra Cosmetics. I had never heard of Ofra until Kathleen Lights started talking about it, and then she went on to do her own collaborations, and I was buying up those lip products as well, and I was so excited about them. And it was, that story to me is really cool because I actually went on to do my own collaborations with Ofra Cosmetics as well, and I was able to meet Kathleen Lights at an Ofra launch party. I went down to the Miami area when they were launching a new collection. They invited me down, and Kathleen came to the party, and it was really exciting to meet someone who has had such, I feel like I'm gonna cry, but like, who has had such an impact on you. It really is an exciting thing, I feel like, to be able to tell someone in person, like, you inspired me. like you motivated me to keep going. To be able to hug someone and to tell them that in person, I think is just such a cool and special thing. So I remember meeting her at this party and just being like, oh my gosh, like I'm just so excited, and these are the ways that you've helped me or motivated me. And she was so nice, and it was really cool. I have a picture of us like leaning over a bar and like everyone's laughing, but I'm just like, oh my gosh, like how cool is that? I want to take a little bit of Contentment as well, the lighter shimmer shade, and I'm just gonna pop that into the inner corner. I think that will be really pretty before we move over to lips. Let me know about Ofra Cosmetics, and then we had our own little journey together as well, which was so exciting. But I also wanted to mention Pat McGrath. Pat McGrath was another brand I had never heard of. You know, a little bit more of a luxury brand, definitely luxury prices, sold at Sephora. I really wasn't shopping at Sephora before starting my own channel and getting more into the beauty community. And I really felt like it was Mel Thompson that introduced me to the brand. I will also say Makeup Shayla for Pat McGrath. I would see her using quite a bit of the products as well. And Makeup Shayla is someone I followed for such a long time. Again, someone I like still keep up with, and I think that she does such incredible makeup looks. I've purchased her collaborations that she's done as well. So I would see her talk a lot about Pat McGrath. But this Mel Thompson, I would see her do the most beautiful looks with these palettes that just looked so exquisite and beautiful. I would be like, I want to be like Mel, first of all, and be so talented in makeup. But then also she just had such an enthusiasm for the brand. I was like, I really need to check this brand out. So I feel like I can really credit Mel for buying and trying a lot of Pat McGrath products. Mel is no longer here with us, but I felt like as I was thinking about this video and I was thinking about some brands, and you know, obviously I'm not talking about brands that I'd already used and tried before, Too Faced, Benefit, Tarte, you know, again, the drugstore brands as well. Brands that really I learned about through this community. I feel like I had to mention Mel for Pat McGrath. I feel like there's a handful of other brands I could have mentioned for her as well too, but I loved watching her videos and seeing her different looks. So wanted to mention that. For my lip products, I'm going to use some Rare Beauty. We have the lip liner in Worthy. And I think this is the last brand, but I wanted to touch on Natasha Denona. Natasha being one of my favorite brands. And actually really similar to Pat McGrath, I had no idea either of them were makeup artists, Pat McGrath or Natasha Denona. I just really didn't know anything about the brands in general or the people behind them. And I remember like learning through YouTube videos more about them and definitely realizing how cool their brands were, and like finding their Instagram page and being able to see all these different tutorials, and I was like, wow. But I really feel like it was Samantha Ravindal that turned me on to Natasha Denona. I can remember her doing looks with like, I especially can recall like the Biba palette. I feel like maybe the gold palette as well, but Samantha, I think, is extremely talented in makeup as well. And the way that she would do her eyeshadow looks, I felt like were different from other people that I was watching. And again, I wasn't watching a whole plethora of people at this time, but I just felt like her techniques would be a little bit different. And I was like, oh, that's really interesting. And like, that's what I want to learn. And I mean, I pretty much do my makeup the same way every time now, but it's fun to me to watch other people and the different techniques that they use, and I really felt like I would learn a lot from Sam. I'm gonna use the shade Worthy for my lipstick. I would watch Sam do the most beautiful looks with these Natasha Denona palettes and be like, I need to try those out. And here we are now, and Natasha is one of my favorite brands for eyeshadow palettes. I rave about them all of the time. I most recently became an affiliate with Natasha Denona, which was so exciting to me. You know, a lot of the brands that I've mentioned, I have been able to go on and work with as well. Again, I did collaborations with Ofra Cosmetics. Sigma Beauty was the first brand to put me on their PR list and to also give me an affiliate code. That was such a huge deal to me. It felt like such a full circle moment when I got that first PR package, because I can remember remember saving up my money to be able to make my first Sigma purchase. I went on to do collaborations with them as well. I have done like sponsored content with ColourPop Cosmetics. I'm on their PR list. I was getting PR from MAC for a while there. I mean, some of you might remember this huge lipstick package that I got from them, and I was just like bawling like a baby. I was so excited. Natasha Denona has recently added me to her affiliate program. I mean, it's just been really cool. And again, this video kind of like looking back on everything and these brands that I was so inspired by other influencers to try, and so many brands that I ended up falling in love with, and then I was given my own opportunities because of that. And it just feels all really special and nice to me. I feel like now I'm getting a little bit emotional towards the end, but it's just really cool to look back at this whole journey of YouTube and where it's taken me and the opportunities that it's given me, and how many of you have come along this journey with me, whether you've been watching me the whole time, whether you stopped for a while, you came back, whether you're new, whether you've been watching me just the past couple of years. I always like to say that the audience and the community is such a huge part of this, and I always try to say that I hope viewers never forget how much power that they really do have. I've done a whole video on like who actually has the power, and to me it's really the viewers, and it's the consumers, and you show support by watching videos and engaging with them, and sharing about us with your friends. And if people are looking for recommendations, saying, well, like, oh, Samantha March really likes this and you should find her on Instagram, all of that is what really gives the influencers these opportunities. And I know that because I can see from me watching YouTube and supporting these creators and them getting their collabs and their opportunities, and me supporting them and what they did, and then it just is, you know, it just kind of keeps going. So I really hope that I have done my part as a YouTuber over the years to inspire and motivate others to maybe start their own channels, or to write their own books, or to start their own platforms, and to keep going even when the times are hard. And I hope that I've been able to bring some joy and entertainment, and also just some real life to my viewers and my community as well. That's something, again, I've always tried to do. I've never wanted to solely just talk about makeup. There's a lot of channels that I love that really, that's their focus. But for me, I've just always wanted to kind of share my life a little bit more too, and the ups and downs of it. And I feel like I've made a really special community over here because of it. So all of that to say, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed a very lengthy sit down and chill chat with me. These videos are actually proving to be a really nice distraction for me as I go through a little bit in my personal life with my dog and her cancer journey. So thank you for letting me talk your ear off about old school YouTube and my own personal journey, and it's just also appreciated right now. So thank you so much for watching. I think this look turned out really beautiful. I'm so impressed with the brow pencil from Rare Beauty, the shadow sticks as well. The only thing that didn't really like blow my socks off was the eyeliner. Again, I think it's gonna be like a fine product, but honestly, the shadow sticks I'm very intrigued by, and I'm excited to use them more and see if I can finally become like a shadow stick girl. So I'm excited for that. Everything that I use will be linked down below. Those are affiliate links, so thank you so much if you support by shopping through them. As always though, if you enjoyed this one, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. I hope you also consider subscribing before you go, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye. Check in on Aries. She's been hanging out in her dog bed. She loves this bed so much, which I'm so happy about, but yeah, she's just been kind of snoozing in here while I'm filming. Oh, she's so sleepy, isn't she? I know. Not sure how much longer I'll be showing Aries in the end of my videos. It's okay, because she's, you know, she's tired. She's a good dog though, but I think that she's getting tired. I know, you gotta get paid for this, babe. You be working so hard, and she's been working so hard. So, you know, she might need to have a little bit of a break. So, yeah, not sure going forward if I'll be showing Aries too much. But here she is today, chilling in her bed. Oh, she's such a good girl.